Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. You fantabulous Friday loving, beautiful people. Yes, that's right. You look absolutely amazing today. And this is video 2 of 2. So strap yourselves in because this one's going to be a room splitter. Look, Steve Goncalves and the Goncalves family have gone through the most traumatic experience any parent could ever go through. And I have absolute sympathy for that. But look, my thought process is this, and that is that any life that we intend as a society to extinguish should not be easy. That process should not be easy. But we know exactly where the Goncalves family stands with their feelings towards the accused. Not the proven guilty, but the accused. And the last few days have brought up some very challenging things. And that is that Bill Thompson, within the last court hearing, categorically stated that Bryan Kohberger and the rumor that he was stalking these victims is false. Absolutely false. So fictitious. Figment of one's imagination. And yet, it seems to be the very foundation for the Goncalves attacks upon the accused. And I get it, right? At the end of the day, they've lost their child. And this is the guy who has been pushed in front and said, this is the guy who did it. And you're one of two people. You're either someone who trusts in the system, you trust in law enforcement, you believe everything they say. But I have a problem because early on, Steve Goncalves seemed to be on the fence. Of it. He seemed to have an open mind and just wanted whatever the right outcome was to be the right outcome. Or what I mean is, whoever is charged and goes through the system and is found guilty is indeed the person who did it, and he seemed to be open to that. Christy, not so much. She's a mum, and she perhaps feels it slightly different. At the end of the day, she is the person who carried Kaylee inside her for 9 months and brought her into this world, and she is going to be a font of both anger and pain. And a lot of that anger and pain will be directed at the person who she feels and has made up her mind done this crime. And I wonder whether it's Christy who has in fact been able to convince Steve that this person is the person who did it. But I take stock with this. I take issues when these people who have lost their child stand out in front of everybody, who have a massive group of people behind them following them and joining in with their journey through this and understanding their pain and being part of that pain and feeling that pain, are being leveraged towards Bryan Kohberger being guilty based off of false narratives. Now, Steve Goncalves and Christy are at the heart of this. And a lot of people have turned around, and even Steve the other day, he turned around and made it sound in his interview on the interview room that he knew stuff that he wished he could say, but he couldn't say. And I know how a lot of people come away from that because I come away from it feeling the same. And that was, hold on, maybe he does just know more. It's as if they know something and they know that this entire circus is just delaying inevitability. But then I step back because now I hear that one of the main things that they have pushed out, and Steve has pushed out saying that he stalked them, he came to their property and was stalking them, watching them, is a load of rubbish and is false. So this is just another absolute proof that what is happening here is we have a family in pain who are more damaging to this than anybody else around it, because they are the people who people are watching who are interested. They are at the heart of it. And they are able to convince so many people to fixate upon this person because this is who's causing our pain. This is the person who put us in the position that we're in. And is that right? Is that right when they are saying things that are not true, that have now been stated to be not true? So I wonder, and I know that Steve perhaps watches videos like this, and I ask that can they come out and rectify that? Can they come out and actually say, okay, we've heard that the stalking storyline is not true? And I wonder where they got their information from. And is this an indication of how powerful media can be and how dangerous media can be? Because not only can it affect people who watch the videos on YouTube like this, who have no involvement, no skin in the game, but they can also infect the very people at the heart of it, who then go on, like I say, this is like a disease where people will hear something, they will grab hold of it, they will latch onto it like it's their life raft and go off into the world with it and poison everybody else with it. We talk about this process being fair. We talk about this process being unbiased. And I said in a video earlier today, in the absence of facts and things that can be proven, tangible facts, all you have is the ability or inability to leverage people's feelings against stuff that is simply conjecture and speculation. Latah County and Bill Thompson, they need this trial to happen in Latah County because it removes certain factors that should be in play here. It subtracts a degree of fairness and support. Because I said to Mrs. Harsh earlier, I said it's we know pubs around this area that are very, very territorial, and it's like going into a pub as a complete outsider, and everybody turns around and they look, and the person feels them eyes on them. They know they shouldn't be there. That's what Brian Koberger's situation is in Latah County. He is an outsider. And not only is he an outsider who lacks any form of support at all, he is someone who is not only being portrayed as this monster stalker killer in the media, but you've got the biggest media piece, a media supportive piece, and mass spokesperson for the actual victims themselves in the form of a family who lost their child, echoing that, becoming a soundboard simply for media bias and bullshit. And that is dangerous. So I would ask the Goncalves family that they think about doing some rectification of what has been said and what has been lied about before the ramifications of what has been said and what has been done are irreparable. And Brian Koberger could have done this, and he could have done it, and he could walk. He could walk because it could be proven that there is absolutely no way of him getting a fair trial. And he can't get a fair trial because of things like this. Lies that have been told in the media and further perpetuated by the families of the victims, who have so many people following them, and like I said, sharing their pain, that they've pushed it out far and wide and touched everybody. And once that seed has been sown, you can't undo it. It's like toothpaste. Try squeezing toothpaste out of a tube and then putting it back in. It ain't happening. Tell me down below what you think, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.